Hi, Genevieve. How's it going there?
Good. How are you?
Great, thank you. Aside from doing press, all is well.
Yes, all is well. I'm scheduled to give birth tomorrow, so I'm a little bit frazzled, but bear with me.
I can imagine you're frazzled because writer, director, producer, and actress in a film that premiered about a week ago. How long was it from the film being done to having that premiere at CineQuest?
We just finished in time. um, Post-production is, it's always a lot more complicated and multi-step than you think it's going to be. We finished the edit a while ago, but it was getting color done and sound, and with a limited budget, we weren't working it all in one place. We were working with different artists and technicians around the city, so it took some coordination.
Was wearing so many hats in this film an impulsive thing where you say, I want to show what it is that I can do and who I am, and this is my jam, this is my joint? Or is it more of oh, we're low budget, I guess I got to do a lot of stuff?
I definitely think I'm a bit of a control freak, so I sort of, this story is so personal to me that putting it in anyone else's hands, wasn't really the point. It's not that kind of film. If I wrote, maybe thrillers or, heist movies or other genres, hiring other people would make sense. But for me, I've always sort of written semi-autobiographical things. So it just felt natural. Yeah. And I really like it. It's not like all your hats kind of help each other, like being the director and being a producer and being an actor. People say, oh my God, that's a lot to take on. And it definitely is. But I found when I made my first film, I'm Obsessed with You, but You've Got to Leave Me Alone, I wrote that and I acted in it. But I was part of so much. I was like helping with wardrobe, and I was helping with, my partner at the time was the director. And so it's always a collaborative thing, especially when you're working on low budget stuff. So it sort of came naturally, and everyone's working overtime anyway. So everyone's wearing multiple hats. And I enjoy that part of it. I think it makes it always dynamic and always exciting.
It's cool to see that this film shows the conversion process more accurately than I guess any film or TV show I've ever seen before. It really shows the heart of it. It puts humor into the whole thing. Did you have any hesitation on putting that out there in the world?
No. I wanted to share that experience. That's why I wrote it. I didn't convert personally, and Agnes doesn't ultimately, well, I guess it's sort of open to debate what she does later on. Sure. But I sort of wanted to get at that that's not really the whole point of it. But yeah, I think Judaism is, it's an incredibly appealing religion for a lot of reasons. One of them being that, they're not missionaries. They're not, right. You have to really want to do it.
Yeah.
It has to be folk driven, and no one's trying to convince you. I went to Catholic school, so I was sort of expecting like, okay, here's the pitch. And I was really glad that I didn't feel ever boxed in or cornered. It was sort of like, if this is something that you feel is right for you, do it. And I think the rabbis at Central Synagogue, and there's so many great synagogues in New York, they were really just wonderful, smart, inspiring people. And I felt like you don't see enough films about that side of religion. So I wanted to showcase that. That's
a really good point. I can't think of another religion besides Judaism that isn't going, hey, please join us. It has more hurdles to join that religion than any other that I could think of.
Exactly.
It's not a mail order kind of, some religions you can become the Pastafarian by, mailing in a certificate online. Right. not Judaism. Did you have to do a lot of research in general to get the script done?
A fair amount. I did take a class, so that was I was partially learning as I was writing this. I decided to write it after, sort of midway through after the class. So I definitely had to go back and reach out to the rabbi who married us, and he was our Hebrew consultant, this wonderful Rabbi Haniel Levinson. And I read a lot. Now I'm drawing a blank on everything I read. Talking to Hari was really helpful, who played Rabbi Cohen. She grew up in a more religious household. My husband grew up in a more, not fully conservative, but more conservative than Reform household. So I learned a lot talking to them. Most of the people I knew growing up were mainly secular, even though we all went to Catholic school. So I definitely did take it took some time and research, and I wanted to make sure we got it right. But every iteration of the draft, every iteration of the script, I just tried to make it more specific, and and then involved research, which was honestly really fun. I'm a nerd, so I liked that part of it.
A nerd, or a person who just likes to learn stuff and demonstrate it in an appealing way?
Thank you. That's I guess nerd was my self-deprecating shorthand for what you just said.
Sure. Well, the film is done, not in the sense that you're still doing press and you're still going to have to talk about it, and you're going to get an email in 9 months from the other side of the planet going, "Oh, we just found out about it. Please come to our film festival." And you go, "I thought it was done." So the movie's done in the sense that it's locked. People have copies of it. People are talking about it. But are you allowed to say what's next, or are you under Deadline.com embargoes? Because we see you pop up as an actress in a lot of places as well.
Well, right now I'm preoccupied with, this baby that I'm about to have slightly.
Oh.
I don't know if you knew that from the beginning. That's why
I had no idea. Okay. Now
I'm going into the hospital to give birth tomorrow.
What? Oh, Zoom does not show the full body usually.
Yeah.
So congratulations in advance.
It's there. The belly's there. So that, I guess, the next few months will be, devoted to that and some writing projects I have. I have a few irons in the fire. I can't really say yet. I've learned the hard way not to say yet. But I definitely am really excited to get back to work and make more films.
That's a really good point about not telling about projects or things before the contracts are signed, before they're happening. Maybe it's like you don't really talk about the kid. You don't buy all the kid stuff before the kid comes in certain religions, per se.
Right. Superstition.
But in your case, it's really great to see that more is coming soon in various facets. Your life is in order as well. And you were able to time up the movie release with the baby release.
That is something I still don't understand, how that all happened. It's kind of crazy, but I'm embracing it. It's been wonderful. I feel really lucky that after months of lockdown, we finally got to make this movie. And there were times definitely when I thought it was never going to happen. And we got this little beautiful pocket last summer where we were able to do it. So.
Totally. Well, my last question before I let you go is, besides your new movie, do you have a recommendation for a new TV show or thing that we can stream to watch? My wife and I just keep devouring shows in 2 or 3 days, and we go, "What's next?" So, hey, you've got taste. What do you say?
Thank you. Well, I just started watching We Crashed with Anne Hathaway and Jared Leto, and they're both such great actors. I'm really riveted by his performance, especially as Adam Newman. Mm-hmm. And then my husband's really into Tokyo Vice, which I've been watching part of with Ansel Elgort and Ken Watanabe. So that's what's on our queue right now. But I'm always on the lookout too. So you let me know.
Have you watched the French series Call My Agent?
Loved. Yeah. Adore.
Have you seen any of the forthcoming British adaptation of it called 10%?
No, but that's exciting.
Premieres next week, I think, on Sundance Now, AMC Plus, and all that. So that's a good one. And if you like dumb comedies, Bust Down on Peacock is great dumb comedy.
I will add that to the list. Oh, the other thing we're watching that I really like is Winning Time.
Oh,
On HBO. Adam McKay wrote.
wow. With John C. Reilly.
Yes, it's excellent. It's amazing actors. Gabby Hoffman, really good performances. It's shot in that very idiosyncratic Adam McKay way, so it's really fun and it moves quickly. It's a good show.
Awesome. You have given me stuff to put on the list.
Good.
Thank you for that. Thank you for getting this movie out into the world, and really looking forward to everything that's to come from you.
Thank you so much, Darren. It's so nice to meet you.
Have a great rest of the day, and best of luck this week.
Thank you.
Paltrocast.